SENTB, the better global transfer service. With just a click. Within a blink. Handy global transfers. Simpler, smarter, better. SENTB.
नमस्ते। नेपाली विद्यार्थी समाज दक्षिण कोरियाको उत्पादन कार्यक्रम सन्सिक ओपन फोरममा यहाँहरू सम्पूर्णलाई हार्दिक स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु। आजको कार्यक्रम प्रस्तुता म मेघनाथ पौडेल र सदाको शनिबार चाहिँ आज पनि हामी सन्सिक ओपन फोरमको नयाँ एपिसोड लिएर आएका छौँ र सन्सिकले सुरुवात गरेको विद्यार्थीका लागि सन्सिक भन्ने अभियानसँगै हामीले विद्यार्थीलाई सहयोग मिल्ने विभिन्न किसिमका जानकारीमूलक कार्यक्रमहरू लिएर आउने प्रयास गरेका छौँ र आजको बसाइमा हामीले दक्षिण कोरियामा रहेका नेपाली विद्यार्थी लगायत अरू भिसामा कोरियामा रहनुभएका सम्पूर्ण विदेशी प्रवासीहरूको लागि केही जानकारीमूलक कार्यक्रम हामीले तयार पारेर आएका छौँ र यसका लागि हामीले विशेष गरेर कोरियामा बसिरहँदा कोरियामा सफलतापूर्वक आफ्नो प्रवासी जीवनलाई सम्पन्न गरी जीवनमा सफलता पाउनको लागि अथवा चाहिँ कोरियाको समाजमा एडजस्ट भएर बस्नको लागि हामीले ध्यान दिनुपर्ने कुराहरू के हुन सक्छन्। त्यस्तै कोरियामा हामी बस्दाखेरि के कुरा गर्न हुने र के कुरा गर्न नहुने यी विषयवस्तुहरू थाहा नहुँदा प्रवासीहरूलाई धेरै अप्ठ्यारो परेको हामीले घटनाहरू पनि हामीले सुन्न पाएका छौँ। नेपाली विद्यार्थीहरूको सन्दर्भमा पनि यही कुरा लागू हुन्छ कि विदेशमा आइसकेपछि त्यो देशको नीति नियम सामान्य कुरा थाहा नहुँदा विभिन्न किसिमका घटनाहरूबाट पीडित भएको हामीले समाचारहरू सुन्दै आएका छौँ र पछिल्लो समय दक्षिण कोरियामा नेपाली विद्यार्थीहरूको सङ्ख्या पनि बढिरहेको अवस्था छ र कोरियाको सामान्य नियम पनि थाहा नहुँदा विद्यार्थीहरू पनि निकै ठुलो क्षति बिहोर्नु परेको हामीले सुन्न पाएका छौँ र यसै विषयलाई मध्यनजर गरेर हामीले एउटा सानो कार्यक्रम जानकारीमूलक कार्यक्रम तयार पारेका छौँ र आजको यो बसाइमा हामीले युनिभर्सल कल्चर सेन्टरका अध्यक्ष जो भारतीय मौलिक रूपमा उहाँ भारतीय हुनुभए तापनि कोरियामा अहिले आफ्नो बसाइ सँगसँगै अहिले उहाँ कोरियन हुनुहुन्छ र उहाँले नेपाली लगायत विभिन्न देशबाट कोरियामा आउनुभएका प्रवासीहरूका लागि विभिन्न तवरले सहयोग गर्दै आउनुभएको छ र यसै क्रममा उहाँले नेपाली विद्यार्थी समाज सन्सिकसँग पनि एकदमै नजिकबाट सन्सिकलाई र नेपाली विद्यार्थीहरूलाई पनि उत्तिकै माया गर्नुहुन्छ र उहाँले आज अङ्ग्रेजीमा आफ्नो प्रस्तुति दिनुहुनेछ र उहाँलाई मैले ढिला नगरिकन सुरुवात गर्न चाहन्छु। सो विदाउट डिले आई वुड लाइक टु वेलकम आवर today's guest, Professor Mokul Basu. You are welcome in our Sonsik Open Forum.
Namaste.
Oh, thank you for your valuable time. So, in our today's discussion, before we start our discussion, I would like to ask you to introduce how the Universal Culture Center is doing its activities for the sake of the foreigner in Korea, including the students, and the connection with the SONSIK.
Yeah, actually, I was a student of Seoul National University. I finished my undergraduate and master's from SNU. So while studying as a student, I realized there are so many problems that our students face. And, I was a student in 1992, 3, 4. So those days, very few students were there. Now, so many students from many countries are there. So, but I still happen to bring forward that if the students are united, then a lot of problems of students can be just solved by our students itself.
Mhm.
So uniting migrants was most important issue. And before me, there was never any history of the Foreign Student Association in Korea. So in SNU, I started introducing the Students Association in SNU, and that was the beginning where I started finding out what are the problems faced by our students. And till today, as a senior student, as a senior of all of you, I would like to share all my experiences from that time till today, how I succeeded in this society. So how the Korean people recognized me with my extensive service activities, volunteer work, and my success being uh, teaching in the university and making money enough in this country to survive well with the finance and everything. So
Mhm.
maybe I would like to share some of these things with all of you, so that many of our new students can have an inspiration how to succeed in this country.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
uh,
Mhm.
yeah, so actually, the SONSIK came into my attention when our students in Gwangju
Mhm.
were, it was 2005 or 6, I don't remember exactly the year.
Mhm.
At that time, the Chosun University, we had the president of SONSIK was from Chosun University at that time.
Mhm.
Now he is a professor in India.
Mhm.
So he requested that if we could do some support and help for getting a place for the Sera festival.
Mhm.
And I had a well connections with so many other Buddhist temples, and Theonsa was one of that temple. I think last year you had a program in Theonsa, and very often Sonsik has the program in Theonsa. This Theonsa in Posong, the head monk had a museum at that time and a temple here in Gwangju.
Mhm.
And happened to establish a permanent relationship, not only after having one Dasai festival at their temple, but there was a fire in one of their temple, and
Mhm.
they needed a lot of support, volunteers and all this. And many of our students from Choson and Chonnam National University, the Nepali students, we were more than around 30 or 40. We went together to clean and help them, to support them. And
Mhm.
that became such a foundation that till today you are able to have a free homestay with the temple stay with the temple, and the monk gives you so many supports and all this.
Oh, yeah.
So this is how we make our recognitions of different students community, by helping them when the Koreans need, and also asking them for the help when we need. So this
Mhm.
give and take policies, that was the first interaction with the Sonsik. And after that, so many different Sonsik president came and go, but some of them did not remember, some of them remember. So, but somehow, again, the new Sonsik presidents keep coming and started contacting us, and we are in touch. So, whenever they have approached me, I tried my best to
Mhm.
provide the facilities that we can give. So that's
Yeah.
how our
Mhm.
Sonsik and different Korean institutions have been in touch to help each other.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for your support to all the foreign people in Korea. And of course, you are very supporting, you are always supporting to our Sansik community and Nepalese students here in Korea. So, without delay, I would like to take this opportunity. Let us hear from you that you will have the very informative. We will have a very informative session now, and our speaker will speak about very special today regarding how to succeed in Korea. In the first session and the second session, he will talk what to do and what not to do in Korea. So as I said in the introduction, that due to the lacking of the somehow the information in Korea, some of the foreigners are getting like taking the very obstacle, and then they are having the trouble in their life in Korea. So without delay, I will give the time to our Professor Mukul Basu for his presentation.
Okay. So let's start with this first slide that you see,
Mhm,
because when you come in Korea as a student, the most important thing is there are different kinds of prospects that you have to live in Korea. You can stay in the Kisuksa, I mean the dormitory of the university. That's not a big deal. During my time, there was no cooking facility in the dormitory, so we
mhm,
had to fight. When we had the student association, we created the new international center for the first time in SNU. There was no Kukchakyuru center anywhere in Korea at that time. We were the first people to create it by requesting the university, and then we requested about our problem and our how to solve these problems. So
mhm,
at that time, uh, like now you have the Kisuksa, and many of these Kisuksa, the dormitory, you have the international kitchen facility where you can go and cook. But those days it did not exist. So we requested for it.
mhm,
And not only that, the hostels of those days, because the Korean people used to stay in the hostel, so they never felt the need of cooking. And all the foods used to be only the Korean food in the restaurants. So we requested a special food, special kind of kitchen where the international food should be served. Not
mhm,
only just international food, there should be vegetarian, there should be halal, and all these things we demanded, and they made a special restaurant as well in SNU at that time. So it is the strength when you are united. Anywhere, any university you are, try to be united and bring your issues to the university. They will try to give different solutions. So now, coming back to your accommodations, you know, we arranged the homestay, and those days there was a kind of house called hasukchip. You don't have these things now much. Hasukchip
mhm,
means you go and stay in a house where you start eating there twice a day, like breakfast and then your dinner. Lunch is only outside.
mhm,
So you pay for the rent, which includes those foods. But those things are not available these days unless you find a homestay.
mhm,
But the cheapest accommodation these days available is the Koshi one. Just you sleep there. Koshi ones have a small corner where you can cook your rice, or you can put the ramyeon and small cooking facilities they have. That's the
mhm,
cheapest way that you can stay in Korea.
mhm,
But beside that, if you want to have the Korean house to rent, if you rent apartment is really expensive because you have to pay a special service charge for the apartment.
mhm,
But if you go for the one room or two room rentals, they may not have the utility charges much, but apartment will positively have the utility charges. Now if the one room and two room has elevator or something, lift, then naturally they will also put you some kind of utility charges.
mhm,
So it's better to go and look for the chutek house. Chutek means just a normal house, first floor, second floor, with a small individual houses. They also share the rooms, one room or two room like this. So that is always cheaper, than you don't have the utility charges.
mhm,
So the most important thing is, when you arrange such kind of house, mostly people just go to the Pudongsan, the estate agent, and ask from them. So when they make the house rent, then what happens? They charge money from you. They also charge money from the their handling charges. That's almost 1 month's rent they charge. So you can always bargain on that. But beside that, there is a way that you can get all these kind of houses by yourself. You can make a contract directly with the house owner also. How? There is a special kind of newspaper available. It is called, I forgot exactly the Korean term. online nowadays in internet there is a newspaper available, but in every area when you cross the road, those road crossings are going to be a place where they give you different kind of mega small kind of weekly newspaper which is free with the advertisements. They have information like somebody is looking for sharing one room, two room, with how much rent. There you can directly deal with them. Pyryok Sijang. That magazine is called that newspaper is called Pyryok Sijang. That Pyryok Sijang is normally free, and if you make a deal with the house owner, then you have to be actually careful. What kind of carefulness you have to have? The contract that you are making, if you are not really careful, then you end up with lots of troubles. What kind of troubles do you have normally? Normally, they keep some kind of money as your deposit money. They call it pojungkhum. And when you try to leave the house, they do not return all that pojungkhum because they want to charge from you certain money like electric bill, gas bill, water bill. If it is not paid, of course, that is being deducted from there. But more importantly, they try to claim from you from the damage repair. Now, when it comes to the point of damage repair, one thing is very important. Like most of our Indian, Nepali, Bangladeshi, and Pakistani students, when we cook, we actually spoil their kitchen. We are never careful because we cook with the curry and all these everywhere. Everything becomes so dirty and they charge special money to clean that. So nowadays, I advise most of my students, our students, that you get from the special aluminum foil or something, paste all around the kitchen so that when you go, you remove this and you don't have to pay for that cleaning charge. Otherwise, they charge this money.
Yeah.
Even for floor cleaning or wallpaper, all these cleanings, they charge a lot of money. So you have to be really careful of when you rent a house properly.
Okay.
And of course, now we are talking about, I have talked about the renting of house. Now let's see what happens after you get the room. Then what do? You have to start buying different required items, which they call it Sangwal Yongpum, means different items that you can buy in cheap price. So of course, there is Thangun market. Many of you might be knowing in Korea is very popular. There are some similar sites where you can get all these used products which you can buy in cheap price, and after that you can sell them in cheap price and go. So you don't spend so much money on that. But there are few things I would like to bring in your notice. This is called Chehwal Yongpum, the recycling item. Every kuchong or everywhere the government has a special recycling center. They call it Cheharyong Center. Chehwalyong Center. This Chehwalyong Center, they buy and they sell. Suppose you buy something from them. You know, in Korea, in order to throw your the furnitures, you have to pay so much of money. You just cannot simply throw it. But if you buy it from them, you can return it to them without paying any money. So I strongly recommend that you buy from the Cheharyong Center near your area. Now, also there is another term they use called Chenung Gibu Center, which means donate your capacity, donate your merit.
Yeah.
Suppose you are good at English teaching, you go and join to teach English for free to the local people, and then you become the member of them, and they have a lot of things to share, which you can get it for free. So it is kind of give and take system, Chenung Gibu Center. And also there is one very important, what you call that, one organization, it is an NGO, it's called Beautiful Store. In Korean, it is called Arumdaon Gage. So if you happen to become, get in touch with the Arumdaon Gage, you have a lot of second-hand and new items, which is very, very cheap. And it is there to support the needy people of the society. That NGO sells in very cheap price and very good items. and sometimes completely new, sometimes used, but they are all useful, starting from your regular everyday needs. So try to make use of all those things, which is very, very useful. And at least these days you have no problem about getting foods, like buying some Asian foods from the online shopping malls and all these are very easy. Earlier it was a problem actually. So now you people are blessed that you have so many facilities available. So I think until you get your house and settle down with the living items and getting your food, you are perfectly well settled. But now you need to go to the next important issue, and that is maintaining your health. So, in order to stay healthy in Korea, the most important two things you have to understand. To understand the Korean style of hospitals, there are three types of hospitals. One is just the normal private hospitals, and another one they call it the Kein Pyongon. So actually, it is not necessarily Pyongon. Sometimes they call it Uyon. Uyon is like our nursing home type of thing in our countries, And then comes hospital. So hospital means where the emergency center is there. You can go. There are 4 or 5 departments. 4 or 5 departments. Doctors are sitting together. That is the hospital, and that is Kein. But it's individual private hospitals. But those Uyon is, let's say, only the Nekwa, means internal medicine doctor. So specific doctors are sitting in certain area. They are cheaper, and sometimes they are much better than actually going to the big hospitals. Why? Because if the old people, experienced doctors sitting there, they are very, very good and expert. So I have one experience. One Nepali student in our Gwangju had some problem and went to Chosun Hospital. Chosun Hospital is the university hospital, Maybe the next slide will show you another, So as you can see here, Chongap Pyongon. Chongap Pyongon means where you have every department. The Dehak Pyongon, they also call it, university hospital. So these means here you have every department combined together. They are very expensive. Suppose you have a fever, you have simple problem and you end up going there. You pay so much of money for nothing. They are very expensive. So never go to Chongap Pyongon unnecessarily, unless it is very emergency and you go there. And even when you are very much emergency, try to avoid going there. Go to the normal private hospital where they have emergency. They are cheaper than this Chongap Pyongon. Chongap Pyongon is very expensive. They charge you, just loot you. You have no choice. You have to pay more. So this is the last choice when it is really dangerous. Normally, they don't entertain the patients because there should be some recommendation from normal hospitals to go there. Then only they entertained. So why I am telling you about the awareness of this medical awareness? Because if you don't know, you end up paying so much of money for nothing. You have simple fever and you end up going to the emergency of the Chongap Pyongon and you pay 300,000, 400,000 for nothing. So better avoid in Korea not to go any Saturday and Sunday. If you find the simplest weakness, better visit the doctor. Don't avoid. At least before Friday you should try, because the doctors are not available and that time you have to go to the Chongap Pyongon. So you end up paying so much of money. So that awareness is very important. Since I am talking about the hospital, let me also tell you a little bit about the health insurance issues of Korea. Beside the health insurance that you are paying, actually health insurance, there are two types. One is the national health insurance and there is one private. If you start paying some private hospitals, private insurances, that's going to give you a lot of facility. But I don't recommend to the students for that because it's very expensive for nothing. But those who are in Korea with the F2 or F5 visas, living here for a long time, or E7 visas, to them I recommend you please go for the private insurances, because private insurances, there is one thing called SILPI. SILPI means if you become sick for 7 days, they will pay you money for every day. Not only your expenses of the treatment, even because you are not able to work, that every single day that you are absent in your working place because of the sickness, that money is also paid. So that's a very good opportunity in Korea to apply. Like I have those kind of silpi insurances, and if I am admitted 15 days in the hospital, every day they pay me 100,000 won. So back Osim Manon comes to me for 15 days just because I am not able to work, beside my all expenses. So these are all kind of informations you should try to know a little bit more about the health insurance. And let's go to the next one, okay? So, for example, we are living well. You know, in Korea, there is a Korean proverb, 잘 먹고 잘 살아라, means eat well and live well, which they call it well-being lifestyle. Now, at the same time, the same sentence, it can be yoke. Yoke means abusing. Like if you get angry and tell somebody, "잘 먹고 잘 살아라," means only you eat well and only you live well. Don't care for others. So, which is actually a very bad word for you to hear that. Now, why I'm telling you this? While you are living in Korea, you must understand that Korean culture has few things. They call it uri. For example, uri 엄마, uri appa, uri nara. This uri is a sense of community living. I remember when I was a student, one American student, he was the only son of their parents. And then he used to say, ne amma, ne appa. And the professor used to be very angry with him. He said, hey, you should say uri amma, uri appa, not ne. Then he said, why? I am the only son. Then he explained what the uri means. Then he said, when we say uri chipsaram, means uri wife, uri ane, it doesn't mean that there are so many husbands of my wife.
Yeah.
So it is, uri means our community. So this community feeling in Korea is very, very important. As I just mentioned you earlier, that our Korean students, our Nepali students went to go and help in cleaning a fire place. And that was such a great impression on them. In fact, many of our students together, we went when there was a leakage of oil tank in the sea. Then we all went in 2 different buses to go and clean. And many of our Nepali students, Indian students, many country students, with 2 buses, foreign students went to clean there. So you have to be careful, helpful, useful to the environmental issues and anything that is needed around your area. Be part of the society wherever you are. In Korean, they call it Sintopuri, means live with awareness of where you live. Not only the eating the local food, but also being aware and helping and be one in the society with them. So this is very important. And that's why I wish to tell you, please participate in the volunteer works. Now, since I'm talking to you about volunteer works, there are so many different kind of volunteer organization. One is called Ilsam Yuko. Another one is called Red Cross. Another one is the immigration and the police department. Many different organizations are there where you can do actually volunteer works. Now, these volunteer works, if you are registered, then you get certain points from the immigration. When after graduation is finished, when you are going to go for your F2, F5 or nationality or something like this, at that time, this volunteer certificates gives you special points. Like how many hours volunteer work did you do in 1 year or 2 year or 3 year? Based on that, you have extra points in order to get your all the points to get upgraded your visa F2, F5 and Korean nationality and all this. So if you registered with them and work anywhere, this is where, you know, my cultural center, the Universal Cultural Center, you can go to the next slide and see that our cultural center, Universal Cultural Center, is registered with the Korean government, And I have two important facility. Suppose you give some donation to me, to our cultural center. This donation at the end of the year, suppose you donated cash, maybe every month you have given 10,000 won. So 120,000 won you have given. And maybe you have sent some used cloth. Then I can send you a certificate, tax certificate that says you have donated me with your kinds and cash altogether, let's say around 1 million won. Against this 1 million won, 30%, maybe 300,000 is going to be waived from your tax. So we have registered with the tax department, the UCC. Like that, we have registered with ILSAM UCO 1365. If you do the volunteer work with us, you can do your volunteer work with SONSIK with information to me in advance that, okay, I am going to volunteer for how many hours with the SONSIK in which place. And then the UCC will give you a volunteer certificate and you will be registered. Your volunteer activities will be accepted by the immigration also. All these kind of facilities are there. You might not be remembering, there was at the time of Rajaram, the SONSIK, UCC arranged Obegmanan cash for the SONSIK to buy all your musical instrument and traditional dresses. It was possible because we are registered with the tax department. I requested professor, one of the doctor, to donate this money so that if it is donated to UCC, we can give the tax certificate to them. And then that money was given to SONSIK to buy all these goods. So this is how we are able to support SONSIK in various ways. And of course, UCC is trying to give different food item supports and all these if there is any program around Korea. So this is one volunteer work that I really recommend all of you to do wherever you are. Beside that, maybe as my introduction, I'm also the vice president of the UNESCO in Gwangju area. And I would like you to really join the activity of the UNESCO wherever you are. Because the UNESCO activities are, you introduce your culture, Nepal culture, to others. Recently, we had a program to introduce the Nepal culture to the local people in Theonsa. We prepared the Nepali food, and then Nepali student introduced their country's culture. And I organized that. So I organized different countries like this. Now, wherever you are, if you try to look in the internet, there is UNESCO activity available in your area. You can join that and go and volunteer doing this, because UNESCO gives you a certificate from the Ministry of Education, and also UNESCO gives a certificate. These certificates of volunteer can always help you wherever in another part of the world that you go to get a job or migrate. Then these volunteer certificates are always useful to you, you know. So I strongly recommend all of you that be part of the society wherever you are. Try to do volunteer works. Be helpful to the local community with the local people. This is very, very useful for your success in your life. And as you know, because I am doing all these things, then the local government authority recognized me, give me a good recognition. That's why I was able to get a Prime Minister's award from the Korean government. Who recommended? This local state government recommended me because of my extensive performance in volunteer work and doing so many other things. So one of the success in your Korean society is that the Korean people recognize you, admire you, appreciate you. That is a success in Korea by doing such things. Even if you go and join a company, when they know that you have such and such background, they feel proud to host you, to have you, you know. So that's one advice that I would like to give all of you. And beside this, what you call the Chawanpongsa activities, as I have talked to you, so many different issues, how to be a successful one. And let me get some questions from you if you have any questions, like as I have told you how I have been successful. You know, the local area, they gave me a vice president position of the Gwangju Challam Namdo area UNESCO.
Yeah.
And I got a prime minister award. In Corona time, I was in India. They called, said, you have been selected, please come receive your prize.
Oh.
They recommended, the state government recommended it. So I will surely say that I am a successful migrant in this country. And of course, before this, because I was always aware to do something for the community, and being part of the student association and university, all these things are very important in order to be successful in Korea. And just because I was so much involved with the social activities, everywhere that I try to do business and all this, everybody will help you. Oh, you are a student, you are doing this and that social works, we must help you in the business and all this. You can believe in 5 years, I was able to do business while I was studying. And I was able to save so much of money, maybe around 200 to 300,000 US dollar I saved at that time during my student life alone, beside all the expenses. And everybody, the all Koreans helped me. It was because whenever my name will appear in, even now in Korean, if you try to see Basu Mukul or Universal Cultural Center, you will find so many Thongyongsang, that means video and news, and many different articles and image. All these happened from the time of my life that I was a student. As I mentioned you in SNU, I was the student association first president at that time. And then I used to take all our students, foreign students, to go and do the volunteer work with the handicapped center, with the what you call the old homes, and with the orphans. Go and teach them English for free. Go and help them. All this volunteer work does not cost any money. Once in a month we used to go, but we used to do something on a regular basis. So I will absolutely advise our SONSIK also to organize a volunteer team in different area where you can go and do some kind of volunteer works to help the Korean society. This is one way to succeed, you know.
Great. Yeah.
So if there is any question, I would like to get some questions from them. And otherwise, I would like to go for giving you some advice, what is not to be done in this country, be careful of.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for your great presentation. Actually, it was very informative. And I hope that many audience now watching you, and then they will watch later through our YouTube or the audience later. Maybe they will be benefited from your presentation today. Some of the audience suggest us that maybe some of the some people cannot understand English, so
Okay.
SONSIK can deliver this message through the different way. Yeah, definitely
Okay.
we will try to make the good and short message based on your presentation today. So there is a
Right.
question here: how much
Mm,
time did you do volunteer job? I'm
mm,
sorry, here the Suresh Sapkota is asking, saying
mm.
that how much time did you do volunteer job? I'm foreign worker living in Incheon. How can I
Mm.
find volunteer job providing center? He's asking. Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
So, you know, the best thing is to find in your local area,
Mhm.
but wherever you go to do the volunteer work, first you should find out if they are registered with the ILSAM UCO, that is 1365,
Mhm.
or the registered organization or not.
Mhm.
If they are registered, then your volunteer hours are going to be counted.
Mhm.
Normally, normal workers who are on E9,
Mhm.
they also get a special point to be selected for the E7 visas. And at that time, the volunteer work gives them something like 6 or 7 points.
Mhm.
And these points are depending on, I think, 80 hours per year of volunteer work. So you can divide that in weekends or something, so that makes sure that you are doing more than 80 hours. But normally in our cultural center, if anybody is coming to do the volunteer work, I recommend them that you come on maybe Friday night or Saturday night and stay here overnight, because we have accommodation and food facilities for free. You can stay here and the next day you can do the volunteer work. I can give you the volunteer hours of 2 days, because the day you are coming, you are also going to cook, you're going to do some dishwashing. All those things are volunteer work. And the
Yeah.
next day you help us, so we can give you just once in a month. If you come, that's going to make you all the required volunteering hours. So
Yeah.
in Gwangju, if you come, you are welcome. Otherwise, also there is another way. Like if I give you some work, you do it from your home. Like I will give you the photos and activity reports and all these, you post it in our Facebook, or you post it in the Daum Cafe. That is also a volunteer work, you are helping us, no? So we can, that one is a different organization, not the Ilsam Yuko. If
Yeah.
somebody is contacting me, I will give them the right directions on that.
Yeah. At the same time, maybe in the case, Mr. Suresh Sapkota, maybe you may help the SONSIK activities, and
Mhm.
we can help you for the volunteer hour also, because UCC is here for us. So
Yes, of
we
course.
encourage you to join the SONSIK activities. मैले नेपालीमा भन्नु पर्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो भोलिन्टियर आवर जसलाई चाहिन्छ यहाँहरू चाहिँ सनसिकको एक्टिभिटिजहरूमा तपाईँले भाग लिन सक्नुहुन्छ र यसको लागि हामीले भोलिन्टियर आवरको लागि हामीले युसिसीसँग अथवा हामीले गर्ने एक्टिभिटिजहरू हामीले पनि आधिकारिक रूपमा हामीले एक्टिभिटिजहरू गर्ने हुँदा भोलिन्टियर आवरको लागि हामीले तपाईँलाई सहयोग गर्न सक्छौँ। मात्र तपाईँ सनसिकको एक्टिभिटिजमा पनि तपाईँ सहभागी हुन सक्नुहुन्छ। सो अल राइट, सो
Yes, you are
नाउ
very much right. Suppose some Sonsik activity is taking place in Daegu, or somewhere in Jeonju, or somewhere in Seoul. When you are doing this, the volunteers who are working for the Sonsik, if I have all their informations, then we can always make a program that it is a combined program of the UCC and Sonsik. And then I will put up their volunteer hours there. But before that, I will tell them to make an ID. If every of them has ID, then we will put the volunteering hours there.
sure,
Even
okay.
without coming to Gwangju, we can help them.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Mukul Basu. So we have the another one more important session that says
Yeah,
that what to do and what not to do in Korea,
right,
which is
right,
very important.
right.
So without delay, let us go for the session. So again, you are welcome for this session, please.
Okay,
Oh, sorry.
okay. So, yeah, now we are talking about the Sonsik. You may have come across some of the students facing voice phishing problem, you know.
Mm,
Now, I have to give you a very, very important information. Many of you are trying to find, desperate to get a part-time job. But my dear, be careful not to be fooled when you find through the Facebook or online information,
mm,
Instagram and this and that you are going to get Sabek Manan, like 4 million won, 5 million won, one day 300,000 per day part-time jobs. These are all cheaters. You have to be very, very careful. Please don't be cheated by them. Why? I have so many cases. I just give you one example of one Indian professor. He was a professor in India. He came to in our university in Seoul, and then he could not complete his PhD course. His professor said, I cannot support, I cannot fund you. You find your own way and finish your own PhD. So he started looking for a job. He was desperate in looking for that job. And through this internet, he did send the resume, and through this he interviewed. And it seems that company has a big office in Hong Kong and Singapore and Korea somewhere, this and that. But they were doing interview over online. And then they said, okay, meet one of our representative in a coffee shop. See, this boy went to meet somebody in coffee shop and the interview was done. And they say, okay, you are accepted. You getting this job. You will get 3 million won every month. Your first job is, please go and collect some of the receipts from one of the apartment building. There is a postal box. Go and collect these receipts. So he collected it. And he also opened and saw it was all invoice. So he thought, oh, I am doing good work. So this joining date and the first work was that. Next day they send him, go to this apartment. This is the number. Enter into the house and you will find one envelope lying near the telephone. Collect that envelope, count all that money. And there was chonmanan, 10,000 US dollar worth of Korean money, And then he said, collect it, bring it to somebody. He listened to them. He took it by taxi, went to somewhere. Then they say, okay, go change your dress, come out from the toilet, go to the KTX, go to this station, give it to this man, and he handed over that money. So he thought he is doing his work, and he asked, why the cash is being taken by us? He said, oh, they want to avoid the tax. That's why. You just listen what we are saying. And he never doubted that he is doing some voice phishing kind of a part of the voice phishing job. So in one side, those voice phishing people are cheating the students. Mostly they take the foreign students and foreigners. And once they are caught by police, you are not going to be out from the jail until you are being deported to your country with the punishment of 2 years of jail and all this. So this boy, he was so honest. Fortunately, he had all these informations and we were able to help from our UCC. And there was at least a case and we had a good lawyer through which he won all the cases. Until the Supreme Court, we win. Now, I'm just telling you, this kind of things can happen to anybody, what they do normally, they will call to the old Haraboji and Halmoni. In Korea, people who are above 60, if they are having any kind of criminal activities, they are not being sent easily to the jail. So these cheaters, they use them. They call them over the telephone that, look, your bank has 10,000 US dollars, which can be cheated by bank. Somebody will withdraw all your money, bank transfer. You better collect that money, keep in your home. They advise to them like this. And then they say, you go out from your home, somebody will come and collect this money. It is safe for you. And these foolish Haraboji Halmoni, they listen to them. And then once their money is gone and they cannot find anybody, they report it to the police. Once they report it to the police started looking for the CCTV. Who went to that apartment? Who went to that postal box? And they find the face. Then they started tracking you. And they find, oh, you are going to that metro station, you are going to that place. So they find and locate your house. Then they catch you. This is voice phishing that you have to be really aware of. So I really, these days, so many types of cheating. If you go to the next slide, you will find that I have mentioned about the different kind of cheating method, These days, you can go to many shopping places, you send the money and the good never comes. So all your money is gone. You cannot do anything. So many things that you have to be really careful of. For example, I give you one example. There was a Pakistani guy and he gave his ID to some of his Pakistani friend to register a car in his name. But the other Pakistani not only bought a car in his name, but he used that ID to buy 5 or 6 different cars and gave to other foreigners who are illegal. Now, this man did not know in his name there are so many other cars have been bought. Suddenly in his house, many violation of the traffic rule bills started coming of different car. He did not know what to do. He came to me and said, look, this has what happened. And I went to the police. We find out under his name there were 8 different cars. And the bill has come more than Sachan Manan or something.
Oh.
So even giving your ID to somebody to buy your handphone or to buy car, you have to be very, very careful of. There is another guy, the telephone bill was, the 2, 3 phones were bought under his name. He did not know. And the telephone bill was not paid by those people and the bill came to him. So while living in Korea, you have to be really careful, especially the legal things. And since I am talking about the what not to do, what is to be aware of, for example, you are doing some part-time jobs. You must know all the immigration rule. If you don't know, you get victim of the immigration with all the penalties. For example, you have moved your house. You are supposed to inform the immigration within 2 weeks. If you don't do this, you are subject to the giving the penalty to the immigration Begmanan. So every single thing, suppose you don't have the permission to do the part-time job. You know, normally 6 months you come, you are not supposed to do part-time job. After 6 months, with the permission of your professor, you are allowed to do certain hours of part-time to do. Now, if in your account, this money and that money is coming, you can be in big trouble. There was one Uzbekistan student. He found so many illegal workers. He was good at Korean. So he helped all those illegal Uzbekistani people. And 10 of them used to work in the same place. All 10 people's money used to be in his account. And after getting all that money, he used to give to them. But his result became very bad. When he went to extend his visa, the immigration said, we will not extend your visa. Your performance in the university result is very bad. And then they started watching his bank account and found out that he has every month coming like Halbeg Manan or Kubeg Manan, said, oh, you are involved with some illegal work. How come so much money is coming to your account? He could not extend his visa. I had to help with some immigration lawyer. And finally, after paying Obeg Manan penalty, he was hardly allowed for the first time to pardon him. And then he said, next time we don't want to see you do all these things. He told all the thing in a proper way that he received the money from others. So once you do things without knowing, then you can be really victim of many things. So there are so many other things. There is endless issues that I can tell you, but few important things I have just mentioned, you know. If you have any other questions, please, we have just very few short time, only 6 minutes more left. So in case anybody has any question to ask, let me welcome.
Yes, you talk about the a digital crime. So how student can be victimized from the digital crime? You explained very well. At the same time, I would like to ask you, how the student can be saved from this the digital crime, being the victim from the digital crime, and then to avoid the digital crime, how they can make it.
Okay. You know, these days, one very important issue is there, like some of the young boys, they start chatting in the Kakao. Some girl is asking that, okay, you can come and we can have enjoy the time and then send me this much money. And after getting all this money, the girl never appears and then you can do nothing about it. These kind of cases are there. But one thing I will really like to tell, be very, very careful of the girls. Even when they are drunk and you are trying to help them out, they can take advantage of it. I give you 2 cases about the sexual harassment that our foreign students have gone through. One is one professor was going in by bus. In one hand, he was holding the handle. Another hand, he has a shopping item. And the bus turned to the left. While turning, he hit a girl. And that girl reported to the police as a sexual harassment. and today he is still facing the case to pay 5 million won penalty.
Mhm.
The Korean, in Korea, the girls are always in top priority. If
Mhm.
somebody is reporting, the girl is reporting, that means nobody is going to listen to you. The
Mhm.
girl is always right. This is what is happening.
Haha.
So, even while traveling by subway or metro or bus, be careful, stay away from these girls, I tell you.
Mhm.
So, about the digital issues, you know, through the handphone, there's a girl chatting with you
Mhm.
and showing this and that part of that person's private area. And then you start using your part of area, expose your private part, and then that person is taking the video and photos, and then they are going and reporting to the police. Once
Mhm.
it goes to the police, then what do? You negotiate with that girl, end up paying money to them.
Mhm.
So many things are happening. I cannot explain so many different issues. I have come across many of these issues to while interpreting or finding out a lawyer for them and all these things.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there are endless issues,
Mhm.
and I hope that you should be careful of all these kind of situations.
Yeah. Mm.
So be aware of them.
Mhm. So shall we talk about the cybercrime a little bit more, and then we
Okay.
will
You
conclude.
see,
Yeah.
cyber crimes, as I have told you,
Mhm.
uh, through this internet,
Mhm.
there are so many people who are offering you that this laptop, that handphone, and this and that, and
Mhm.
then you pay the money, and then that person disappears.
Mhm.
Sometimes while chatting in the cyber, you abuse them, and they capture those kind of abusing words, and then they put you in the cybercrime.
Mhm.
So uh, in Korea, you know, it's very difficult. Like I have seen one case that somebody received one email. In the email, it says that there is some very expensive gold and all these different things are coming from America. And if you pay this much money,
Mhm.
then you are going to avail them. And these people started paying the money. And after paying this money, they still ask to pay more and more money. And at the end, nothing appears, nothing comes. You
Mhm.
go to the cyber police and report and find nothing. All your money is gone. So, any such kind of email that you suddenly receive, somebody is saying that I have this much fund, I want to transfer this to you, please make contact with me, and then say, okay, give me your bank account details and all these. So you give some details, sometimes your account has lost the money.
Mhm.
The vice versa, sometimes they say, okay, I'll transfer this much money, but for this you need to first make a membership and send this $500, and after that say, oh, in order to get all that money you have to pay another $1,000, and then you start sending. After you have fed up, after giving 4 5,000 US dollar, then they run away and you find nothing.
Yeah.
So even the Interpol,
Mhm.
they can't do anything. You Because here in Korea, if you go to the cyber police, they don't speak English, and then nothing happens much. So it is better to be aware not to get victimized on the
Mhm.
cyber crimes,
Mhm.
so that at least later you don't have to go to the cyber police and waste your time with the
Yeah.
interpreter and translations and all this.
Mhm. Oh, all right. Very informative session we are having now. Thank you for your great time, Professor
Most welcome.
Bukalasu. Yeah,
Most welcome.
I think those who are joining here, watching the special presentation from Professor Mukul Basu, maybe it is very benefited and very informative for your daily life.
You may share my telephone number to them, 010 6327 1358. In case they face any problem, then at least I can give them some guidelines what to do during any of the emergency situations.
Yeah. Actually, Professor Mukul Basu is really working for the foreign people here in Korea, and he is the beyond the nationality. Whoever come from the abroad, he is ready to help everybody, including student or whatever the visa they have. Maybe you can repeat the number again. So that they can notice. Actually, we can share it. This
Yeah.
video we will share. It is broadcasting from the SONSIK, the YouTube also. You can watch it again. By the way, you can tell your mobile number
Yeah.
again.
010
Mhm.
6327 1358.
Mhm. उहाँले भन्नुभएको चाहिँ 010-6327-1358. तपाईँले चाहिँ यो नम्बर सेभ गरेर उहाँलाई जहिले पनि कन्ट्याक्ट गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। उहाँ चाहिँ कुनै पनि बेला विद्यार्थी होस् अथवा अरू कुनै भिसामा हुने विदेशीहरू, प्रवासीहरू सबैको लागि उहाँ सहयोग गर्नको लागि तयार हुनुहुन्छ। हि इज भेरी गुड इन इङ्ग्लिस, हिज नेटिभ द हिन्दी अफ कोर्स, एन्ड देन हि इज भेरी गुड इन Korean. So there is no language boundary, there is no cultural boundary. So he's ready to help us. Okay, so Suresh Sapkota, Mr. Suresh Sapkota is asking again, very good job, SONSIK. One request, एक दिन रोड सेफ्टी ड्राइभिङ जस्ता सब्जेक्ट एड्रेस हुने गरी एउटा प्रोग्राम.
Yes, very good subject. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for your great suggestion, Suresh Sapkota-ji. Yeah, Sanjit Patel-ji is asking, can we study through E9 visa? The subject is a little bit different, but
No. Actually, yes, they
we
can study
answer
with the permission
Yeah.
from the immigration.
Yeah, you can. सञ्जित जीले चाहिँ यो यसको विषयमा हामीले एउटा सेसनै चलाएका थियौँ। यहाँभन्दा अघिल्लो सन्सिकको सेसन हेर्नु होला, यहाँबाट तपाईँले एन्सर पाउनुहुन्छ है। Okay. So thank you so much for your great time today with the SONSIK Open Forum. We're very happy, we're very blessed to having you. र जसले यहाँ हेर्नुभयो, हामीलाई हेरिरहनु भएको छ, यहाँहरूलाई पनि आफ्नो महत्त्वपूर्ण समयको लागि धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। So thank you once again, Professor Mukul Basu, and we will keep in touch. Thank you so much.
Okay. Namaskar.
Bye-bye. र यहाँहरूको महत्त्वपूर्ण समयको लागि धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। र आज हाम्रो प्रेजेन्टेसन विशेष गरेर अङ्ग्रेजी भाषामा भयो र यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले समराइज गरेर हामीले चाहिँ योसँग सम्बन्धित कुनै पनि विषयवस्तुहरूमा यहाँहरूलाई जानकारी लिनु पर्यो भने सन्सिकको अफिसियल फेसबुक पेज मार्फत अथवा सन्सिकको होम पेजमा त्यहाँ कन्ट्याक्ट नम्बर पनि दिइएको छ, यहाँले हामीलाई सम्पर्क गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ। र आजको कार्यक्रम सन्सिक ओपन फोरमको आजको 15औं एपिसोड हामी यही नै अन्त्य गर्न चाहन्छौँ र यहाँको सहभागिताको लागि धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छौँ। अर्को हप्ता फेरि भेटौँला। नमस्ते।
SENPI, the better global transfer service. With just a click. Within a blink. Handy global transfers. Simpler, smarter, better. SENPI.